Hey guys, George here from SwanNGaming. Today I'm going to be bringing you a nice little gameplay. I think it's like 78 and 15 or something like that. On a bit of raid domination ground war. I've actually tried to do this a couple of times, but I've been interrupted by people in my house. I've also been interrupted by myself, my phone. Pretty much anything you can think of has interrupted me from this commentary, so it's like God does not want me to get it done, but screw it, I'm getting it done. What I want to talk about today is high school and like fights and stuff like that. Unfortunately, there's no first-person experiences of this because I'm a 5'7" skinny kid who is built like probably about a 6-year-old. So if I ever got into a fight, I would have lost it anyway. But I was lucky enough that I was pretty much friends with everyone that I knew, so never had to get into a fight or anything close to a fight. But what I wanted to talk about, really, as I said, was people settling their differences and stuff by fighting, because high school fights are awesome, no matter where you're from. I don't tolerate fight. I don't think it's cool, but I just want to give you some examples of fights. And I'm not going to use names or anything, but if any of the other guys from SwanGaming are watching this, they'll probably know the fight or they'll know who I'm on about. But I saw my fair share of fights in high school. Some from my year, some from lower years, some from years that were higher while I was going through high school. If you didn't know, we all finished high school last June, so we've all been through it. But I'm pretty certain if you were in high school or if you're still in high school, you'd have seen a fight, and you'd have, you might have even been in one. And if you have, tell me how it went. Did you lose? Did you get your ass handed to you? Did you win? But as I said, I'm not saying fighting is cool, because it's not. But when they happen, there's something that you watch. They're pretty funny, unless it's like a really serious one. But most of them aren't. Most of them are something like, your mum's a prick. What do you say? Punch in the face. Claw each other's faces off for a bit, and then they're friends the next day. But I wanted to talk about how fights go down in my experience, because this is collectively putting together what I know about high school fights. This is the way it works, alright? So you got a guy, if it's two guys, this is if it's two guys. Okay, we'll do two girls in a minute. Two guys have a fight. This is the way it works. One either spreads rumours about the others, or one just openly says, "You're a prick, I don't like you," or something like that. They find out they mutually dislike each other, and for a while they don't let it affect them. But one day something happens, someone offends someone, and that's when things escalate to another level. But with guys, if it's gonna happen, it's not like we'll wait till we'll wait till tomorrow or something. It happens that day. It happens today. It happens the next free time. Yeah. But and a lot of the time, there's already a big crowd before it happens, because word's got around. And, word travels fast, so if two guys don't like each other in a lesson and you're the other side of the school, the fight's going down at that break. So everyone, crowds around. Everyone follows the guy. You got everyone with their terrible Samsung phones or something. This was back in, year 7. Everyone's rocking the iPhone now. But back then, everyone using the terrible, Samsung phones, which barely has, a 1 megapixel camera. Everyone's like, oh, my God, this is going to be awesome. So they go to have a fight. But the way it works, as I said, is, it happens that day if it's guys. And they have the fight. And the fight can be, it can be a good fight. It can go on for a couple of minutes till teacher comes out. It can be somewhere where the teacher didn't know. So, nothing happens. Anything can happen. But that's not important. The actual content of the fight isn't important. Someone wins, someone loses, and then somehow the two guys end up getting in contact with each other that day, and that's it. They're mates then. It's just fine, yeah, whatever. They get on with life, and they get on after that. That's just the way guys fight. If you didn't know, girls, that's the way it happens. So if two girls have a fight, though, we'll get on to that now. Don't be expecting it to happen that day, or to even happen. This is the way it usually goes down. This is my experiences of it. I've only ever seen 3 or 4 girl fights, but this is the way it goes down. A girl says something to another girl in a text, or Facebook, or Twitters, or MySpace, or whatever social networking site, floats their boat, tickles their fancy. So they say it, and then about 2 or 3 days later, everybody knows they said it, because, news travels fast. If someone's pregnant in high school, it's bam, everyone knows, 10 seconds after the guy's jizzed in the girl, everyone knows. It's amazing. It's literally if you could spread news in high school so fast. But they find out, and then the rumours get twisted. So it could have ended up that it being this girl called this other girl fat, or said she's a whore. But then, by the time it's got to the other girl, it could be, yeah, this girl says that she wants to kill your family, she wants to snap your dog's neck, your nan's a prick, and no one likes you. And you're also anorexic and fat at the same time. That's what happens. That's how girls, spread the rumours. Sounds wrong if I just say spread it. Anyway, moving on. But that happens, and that's what they say. So then they're like, oh, okay, I see how it is. So then the rumours come back, and the rumour mill gets circled round. And as I said, it's like a game. It's like the worst game of Chinese whispers ever, because everything just fails and everything goes to shit. And this happens for like a couple of weeks. Shit gets said, and then eventually, it happens. They talk to each other, face to face. There could be a crowd. There could be 1, 2 people, but they talk to each other, and they start going, what did you say about me? What did you say about my nan? And they're like, nothing, because a lot of the time they didn't say anything about them. Because, as I said, it's all rumours. Maybe they said one thing, but all the rest has just been thrown around there and just randomly. There's stuff like, you really wouldn't know. Someone could just say, Charmander's wizard or something, and they'd just be like, well, yeah, I said that, fuck it. They'd just claim it. And after a while, it gets heated. And then, there's usually no fight the first time they confrontate each other. But if there's ever going to be a fight, because a lot of the time, it's like, yeah, we threaten it, but then they somehow make up, like, a couple of months later. But this could last, like, a whole high school year. I knew a couple of rivalries, I'll call them rivalries, that went on the whole way through high school with no fight. Or no fight that I know of, anyway, or that any of my friends know of. But, they could have met in a secret, like, location, like at the swings or something at a park over a weekend, and had the fight there one-on-one, kung fu style. But I doubt that happened. Anyway, the way it works is, if they have the fight, girls, I don't know if I like watching girls fight. It's fucking brutal, because there's like hair pulling, there's shit going down. I remember once actually, there was one girl fight that happened, like a boy fight, where they didn't argue for about 10 years beforehand, and they didn't decide like all of that. They just did it. They just did the fight in the cafeteria of our school, and that was brutal. That was a crazy fight. I also saw one where a girl got like her face smashed against a desk, but that was this was like a big girl. I wouldn't mess. As I said, I'm tiny anyway, but even if I was a built guy, I still wouldn't mess. She seems like the girl could just beat the shit out of you, I'll be honest. So whether you consider that a fair fight, because it was a girly girl against someone who, as I said, probably lifted weights. But anyway, I think the other guys at SwanGaming don't know what I'm about. I'm going to stop now. But yeah, as I said, the fights go on, and they do it, but it's like a massive difference between how they go down. Like with guys, it's like they really have a fight, and then after that, it's like they're either friends or they just don't talk to each other. But with girls, it's just an everlasting, like they just don't let go of a grudge ever. They just keep fighting and keep arguing. And then if there's eventually a fight, then sometimes, that's the breaking point after the fight. But until then, you can expect bitchiness. I mean, it's brilliant. Some of the things I've heard, I love it. That's one of the best parts of high school. But I'm trying to think of like the most interesting fight. I saw a fight, the most one-sided fight I've ever seen was a guy that I'm quite good friends with anyway. He does boxing and things like that, so he's quite a big bloke. But there was someone spreading rumours about him that he'd beaten him up, so he was like, oh, I'm having none of this. And he ended it in 3 punches. But that was an interesting fight though, because that was one where actual punches were thrown. It wasn't one where like the 2 kids are on the floor with each other, like, and you can't tell if they're humping or fighting. But that was a proper one. You don't see many proper ones. I've heard many stories. I knew someone who was in my science group. He was in a couple of my other lessons as well, who I was good friends with, who he lived. He knew about all the fights that went down and stuff, so I always got to know if someone got parred off or whatever, quote unquote, because he used that sort of language for his vocabulary choices, I should say. But anyway, yeah, fights are always interesting. Nothing good ever comes of them. You can't win a fight, technically, especially in the modern day and age, because if you beat the person up, you get in most trouble, because you're considered the attacker. And if you get beaten up, you get beaten up. You either get arrested or whatever if you're the one that beats up. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this weird commentary about fights and stuff. If you've enjoyed and you want to hear more of my high school experiences, then like, comment, and rate the video. I have been George from SwanGaming. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.